Hello everyone, my name is ClickFlow and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Thrive Guide. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are starting off here back at the iron farm, and let me tell you, this thing has just been churning out the iron. It doesn't look like it right now because I just condensed all of the iron into blocks of iron, and so this is like over a double chest full of iron basically. So much iron. This farm is literally amazing. Build this in your worlds. It's just so awesome. Anyway, I'm super happy about that. And we all, on a previous live stream, we were working on the piglin bartering farm storage system, buffer system thing over there, and I realized that we pretty much ran out of gold as we were doing that, and we didn't get very much out of it because we didn't have very much gold to start with. So I think today we are going to embark on doing a similar type of farm, but instead of farming iron, we're going to be farming gold. And the mechanic we are going to use is farming zombified piglins, zombified pigmen, I should say. They naturally spawn in the Nether, and they will drop gold ingots and gold nuggets, which can then be crafted into gold ingots. And unlike what you might think, we are not going to go to the Nether to farm those. We are going to farm zombified piglin in the overworld, which is going to be kind of an interesting prospect. And the mechanic that we are going to use is that in the Bedrock edition, when you light in a Nether portal, you have a small chance of a zombified piglin spawning next to that portal, to kind of give the effect that there is use on the other side, that like occasionally a zombified piglin will wander through the portal into the overworld, and so it kind of gives that ambience that like it's being used not only by the player but also by the zombified pigmen in the Nether side of it. And so we are going to use that to our advantage today to basically create a Nether portal, and then light it and break the portal, and light it and break the portal repeatedly, so that we can get a lot of zombified piglins spawning all at the same time. And I think it'll probably be a good place to put it right here about, so that we're in the same area as our iron. So when we're here using the pigman farm, we can also be spawning and farming iron. So I think we're just going to make this kind of like our ingot island, our ingot district, so that we are always farming that. And I brought a few supplies, so if I go here and throw down some of my ender chest and pull out some materials, you can see the things that I've put together for this. First off, we're going to need redstone, and then second off, we're going to need some obsidian to make our nether portal, and then just some blocks to build with. So I went and gathered quite a bit of obsidian, because this is going to be quite a large nether portal. The nether portal, the probability of a zombified piglin spawning when a portal is lit scales with the area of the portal. So not necessarily of the number of obsidian blocks, but the area of the portal blocks itself. So of course, the bigger we have the portal, the higher chance of a zombified piglin spawning will be. But it also does create quite a bit of lag. So it's kind of a trade-off between efficiency and lag, which one you can handle. I'm going to make my portal 23 blocks by 23 blocks. So the bottom is going to be 23 blocks long, and then it's going to be 23 blocks tall. And that's to do a few things. Number one is to maximize the chance of a zombified piglin spawning, and also to minimize the amount of lag that our world will experience when we use this farm. And you can scale this out to be 4, 5, 10, 15 portals big, so you can just scale this in the horizontal or vertical direction. But I'm not going to do that just for the sake of I don't need that much gold. I need a bit of gold, but like I don't need a ludicrous amount of gold, you know. So the first thing we are going to do is build our portal. Now we are going to want to build this in the x-axis, and we are going to want to build this a little bit up in the air just so that we have room for our collection chamber and kill mechanism. So I'm going to go up probably 15 blocks or so. That's probably good. That probably wasn't even 15 blocks, but this will be plenty high for us. So I'm going to start building our portal, and I'm going to be placing the obsidian again 23 blocks from the first block here to the last block is going to be 23 blocks long. So 1, 2,
a few moments later.
23. So that is our length done, and then now we are going to want to do 23 blocks up on both sides, and then 23 blocks again across to complete the top of the portal. And look at that. That is a ridiculously sized nether portal. Perfect. Oh, that is looking really good. Also, it is looking very large. So the next thing we are going to want to do is figure out which side of our nether portal the zombified piglins will spawn. And if you look on our position coordinates, we are now facing and walking in the y-axis, and as you can see, this is the positive direction and this is the negative direction. The zombified piglins will always spawn on the positive direction, the positive side of the y-axis. So that means that they are always going to spawn towards the farmhouse in our world here. But in your Bedrock worlds, it will always just be in the positive axis of the y-axis, and so that is relatively simple to figure out. That if you wanted to test this, you could just go up there with some flint and steel, and then start the portal, break it, start the portal, break it, and eventually you'll see one of the zombified piglins drop from one of the sides, and you can note which side is the side that spawns the zombified piglins. But we already know that this is going to be on the south side for us, or the positive y-axis. So I'm going to grab us now some stone and some glass so that we can build up our collection mechanism. All right, so we're gonna branch out here. These blocks might need to be removed later. We'll see. This might be the perfect spot for it. But we're gonna want to come over to the edge of this block and come up from the frame 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks tall. So that will basically mean that any zombified piglin that spawns here has no chance of getting up over this ridge. And then we're going to come out on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that, so that we can have that barrier. And then we're going to fill this in with glass on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with stone first of all, and then do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and then I'll show you guys what this looks like after we're done. Alright, so this is what it is going to look like. You can make this 2 blocks wide, you can make it 1 block wide, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that is going to change is the kill chamber, the collection mechanism. And what we're going to want to do is grab some stone blocks, and in the corner place a couple of stone just like that, and then we're going to place a water bucket like on both of these blocks, and they will flow into the center, and then we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. So we'll put 2 blocks or 4 blocks just like this, and then put water on that, and then that will flow into the center. And then here at the center we will place some signs to stop the water flowing, and then build up our killing mechanism. So let me grab some water for us here. Just like that. And so now you can see that they will stop right in the center here, and we're going to want to break out 4 of these blocks, and we'll put some signs in here to stop the flow of water. But 4 blocks just like that. And then let's grab some signs. So we're going to want these to go right here, right here, right here, here, and then we want them to go over the top as well, like that. Oops. Ha ha ha. Kind of a tricky job to place those signs, but we'll just fly back up there. Goodness gracious. Maybe I should just make some scaffolding, because this is being ruthless.
Oh God, that was horrible.
Perfect, just like that. So now the zombified piglin will come over here, be pushed by the water stream, and then fall down into our collection mechanism that we are now going to make here. So the collection mechanism will then come first here. So we'll want to come right over here and mark out our collection chamber. And basically we're going to make a trident killer right where the zombified piglins will fall. And that will be our mode of killing the zombified piglins. Perfect, just like that. And so now our collection mechanism is pretty much done. Now we need to just go ahead and install the trident killer. And I have done that previously, so I'm not going to spend very much time explaining how the trident killer works. We're just going to grab a couple of droppers for observers, for pistons. We're going to need a lever on that, and then all of our tridents. And we are going to need 1 glass block as well for that. Perfect. And I think I'm going to install the trident killer, the front of the trident killer on this side. So this will work perfectly. So we're just going to take out the first 3 layers basically of this. And we are also going to need a hopper to collect all of our materials. I'll grab a couple of hoppers and then we can output them into a chest. So we're going to want to place 4 blocks here, and then if we place a block here, we can place our hoppers into that block. And that block is just a placeholder that will eventually be our chest. I guess actually I want that chest to be facing here. Just like that. And so now we can fill that with a chest later. But then on top of this, we are going to want to install our pistons there, 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 and then solid blocks all around that. And then we are going to want to install some of the droppers right here on the corners. And then observers. I'm going to break myself out of here so I don't box myself in, because I'm really good at doing that. Observers facing into those droppers on all 4 sides. Just like this. And then solid blocks in between all of those guys. Just like that. And so now our trident killer is pretty much finished. We just need to add the tridents. And I just add that to make it look kind of nice. So we can take all of our tridents and throw them in here. I like to put 5 tridents total. I think that generally kills the mobs pretty fast. And then the last touch is we're going to place a lever on that dropper. And when we flip that, that will start them, and then our trident killer is working phenomenally. So that is perfect. I'm going to go grab some sleep really quick, and then we will continue on with this build. Alright, so now we're going to grab a few more blocks from over here in our redstone box. And now we are going to want to install our clock, basically. And I'm going to grab a hopper for that. Two dispensers. They need to be dispensers, and they can't be droppers. I'm also going to need an extra bucket of water, which I didn't plan on. I guess we can just steal some of the iron from over here and make ourselves another bucket because we have loads of iron now, which is super awesome. So we're going to need 2 dispensers, a hopper. We're going to need a bunch of redstone, 1 redstone torch. We're going to need 1 redstone repeater, a sticky piston, a couple of observers. We're going to need another lever, which we can just make from some cobblestone and a stick. And I think that is it. Let's look at our stuff. Anyway, let's go up to the top and see if we can put this together. Okay, we're going to install our clock on this side right here, and the first thing we are going to want to do is install a block right there with a dispenser facing into the portal on top of that. Then we are going to want to place a block on top of that so there's a space, and put a dispenser again facing into the portal. Now we can remove these 2 blocks here. We could even remove that block there, but that's not necessary. And this is going to be what lights and breaks our portal repeatedly. So this in here is going to have our extra water bucket. That's what's going to break the portal. And up here we're going to have a whole bunch of flint and steel, which are then going to be used to light the portal again. And so we're going to put a hopper on that, and in the fullness of time we will also place a chest on top of that and just fill that with a whole bunch of flint and steel, because this does pump out a lot. It does use a lot of flint and steel because of how fast this clock works. So now we are going to want to come out to the side on over here, and we're going to want to install our clock, and for that I'm going to need a few more solid blocks and a few more pieces of glass. So I will go grab those things really quick. Alright, let's hop over to this side here, and we're going to want to install a little mechanism that will put a redstone signal into these alternating. Oh, of course I fall off. So I'm going to just scaffold with these, these glass blocks. So we're going to have a couple of redstone dust right here, a redstone dust right here, and then on this block, oops, not right there. On this block right here, we are going to place our redstone torch. Just like that. So that will always have this on, and it is important that the water begins the cycle with the water placed into the portal frame. If you begin the cycle where the water has been used up and it's inside of here still, then it will not work properly. So we want to make sure that is how it is. And then the last bit, we are going to want to actually come down a block. So I'm going to bring a block out right here, and we can remove all of these guys because all we care about is this block here. This is going to be where our redstone goes in from the clock above it. When this redstone is powered, it will power this block, turning off this torch and then depowering the dropper, and that will put these on an alternating circuit basically. So now we are going to want to place one block here, and then we're going to want to build a little staircase up around it. So we can place these out just like that, and then we can get rid of this block in between. And we're going to want to place our redstone just like this. And then on this last one, we're going to want to place a repeater set to 1 tick. Now you can change this, and this repeater will change the speed of the overall clock, but that will make it so that it operates. And we're going to want to have our observer clock right above this thing. So we're going to want to come up and grab our observers here, and we're going to want to place them not like that.
You fool!
Of course I drop it. Oh no. Oh well. We're going to want to place one observer facing into the redstone just like that. And then the other observer we're going to want to place on top of that. And then now we want to come up by a block and then place our observer right there. So when this is pushed over the top of this, this will again create our typical circuit clock, which will then power and depower those droppers rapidly. And that is exactly what we want for this clock. And now I'm going to place in our sticky piston. I don't know if I grabbed that. I did. Perfect. And have that not facing down. I can't build redstone today. It just doesn't want to cooperate. Perfect, just like that. So now we can remove basically all of this scaffolding because that is our clock completed. All done like that. And like I said, if we do end up triggering that, we will want to place the water back in and then the empty bucket back into there, because it is imperative that this starts with the dropper clock open like that. And then next we are going to want to fill our hopper and dispenser full of flint and steel. And for that I brought a little bit of wood with me, which I can use to make a couple of chests. Just like that. And for the first chest, I think I'm going to place right there, and then the second chest we're going to place up there, and we're going to fill that with a bunch of flint and steel. And I brought 30 steel, or 30 iron and 30 flint, so we can just make a lot of flint and steel up there. So let's get back up. Just like that. And we need to get up to the top of this so we can place our chest. And then I'm going to basically make as many flint and steel as I can and dump those into the chest. So doing this will be fine. We could also make this better by enchanting each of these flint and steel with Unbreaking 3, which we have a vast quantity with. And we might do that in the future if we end up using this a lot. But right now I think it's probably fine to not worry about it. But now this clock is completely operational. And so when we flip the switch on that piston, it will start activating our farm. We'll get a whole bunch of zombified piglins falling into our kill chamber right here. So the last thing I want to do is to wire this thing up so that we can easily turn it on and off from down there at our AFK point. So we have our lever here, which will turn the switch, which will then go all the way up, and will break out to have a repeater to boost the signal, which will then go around, activate the piston, which will start the clock, and then start our portal. Here comes the moment of truth, everything that you've been waiting for. And that is working, and as you can see, we are starting to get pigmen into our farm. Look at that. Now if we hold a looting 3 sword, it will actually apply to all of the kills on this, so we can fire that. And then we can collect all of the experience as well. And if we look in here, look at that, we're starting to get automatic gold. Holy cow, that is awesome. And then if we want to stop it, we just flip that lever and that will break the clock, which will then turn off the farm. And then once these guys are all finished dying, we can turn off that clock, and then look at that, we got quite a bit of gold from that. And if we flip it back on, we should see, yep, that we get, it is fully functioning, folks. Oh, that makes me so happy. I think that is a job well done. We're going to get a whole bunch of rotten flesh from this and a whole bunch of other things, other goodies, especially the gold. And the gold nuggets can be crafted into ingots, and they will also drop ingots by themselves. And then we can just feed that straight into our zombified, our piglin farm, our piglin bartering farm, I mean. And then we can use that to generate a whole bunch of materials like ender pearls, blackstone in the future, nether brick, and all kinds of fun things to work with. I am super happy about that. Oh my goodness, I'm really happy. And that doesn't look too bad, I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of glass and it's kind of spaghetti redstone and everything, but I think this works phenomenally. And like I said, you can extend this into that direction and that will be just fine. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of AFK here just so we can see just how powerful this farm really is. So I think we're going to turn this on and then I'll AFK for probably 10 minutes or so, and then we can see just how much gold this thing produces. All right, the silence is the noise has finally stopped. I have run this for pretty much an entire Minecraft day, so not very long, and look at that. We've already got a bunch of gold, a whole bunch. This is over a stack of gold ingots, which will lead us a long way in the piglin farm. That is super exciting. One other thing I wanted to check before we finished off this episode was just how much that AFK session depleted our supply of flint and steel. Yeah, we've pretty much gone through all of it. There's just a few pieces of flint and steel left. So this is going to be kind of expensive on flint and steel, and we're going to have to replace that pretty frequently. But I think overall this is definitely a win. I am super happy about this farm and about how much this thing produces. Look at that. That is just a ridiculous amount of gold in a really short amount of time, honestly. And all the while we were doing that, this iron farm has been churning out iron from the iron golems. And as you can see, we already have a significant amount of iron building up over here. So I think this place is turning out to be a farming district, and I'm super happy about this farm. I hope you guys are too. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for some more content and for some more videos in the Minecraft Bedrock Thrive Guide. I hope you guys had a fantastic time, and I hope you guys have a great day. And my name has been ClickFlow, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.